From Death Notes to Dragon Monarch Remains, anime has some of the most OP weapons of all time. Because what if I told you that a simple black notebook could kill anyone on Earth? Or that there's a sword so powerful, it literally separated heaven from Earth? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're diving into anime's most ridiculously overpowered weapons. Now, before you start typing, "Where's Excalibur?" in the comments, let me be clear. We're not just talking about swords and guns here. We're talking about living weapons, conceptual nightmares, and reality-bending monstrosities that make nuclear bombs look like firecrackers. I've ranked these based on a mix of raw destructive power, cultural impact, and just how much they made me go, "What the hell?" when I first saw them. So buckle up, because some of these are going to blow your mind. Let's start with something that looks completely harmless, but is absolutely terrifying when you think about it. This is a plain black notebook. That's it. No fancy design, just a notebook. But write someone's name in it while picturing their face, and they're dead within 40 seconds. No distance limit, no defense, no way to stop it once it's written. The scariest part? It's not the power itself. It's what it does to the person using it. We watched Light go from honor student to literal god complex in what, like 37 episodes? The Death Note doesn't just kill people, it kills the soul of whoever uses it. It's a crazy little tool, and undoubtedly one of the most dangerous weapons in all of anime, which brings up a crazy thought. What if the Death Note could cut across its verse and affect other fictional characters? For instance, could Light kill Goku by writing his name? Think about that for a second and let me know in the comments. And this brings us to our next OP weapon, the insane ability of mind control, Lelouch's Geass. This is an ability that literally lets him command anyone to do anything. Once. The limitation actually makes it scarier because you have to make it count. But here's the thing, Lelouch used it too well. He showed us just how the applications could be ridiculously simple, yet create complex after effects. While this ability is broken, could it go against Haki or Genjutsu? Personally, I don't think so, but what do you think? Coming in at number 8, we have the Tailed Beasts from Naruto. These beasts aren't your everyday weapons. They're living, breathing weapons of mass destruction with their own personalities, grudges, and daddy issues. The Ninetales literally has PTSD from being used as a weapon, and honestly, that's super valid. Each one can level a village, but here's what makes them truly terrifying. They can hold grudges. Imagine if your nuke could remember every time you used it and decided one day it's had enough. That's basically what happened to every village that tried to weaponize them. The craziest part is that they're all fragments of an even bigger monster. The Ten Tails makes all of them look like house cats beside its full size. But undoubtedly, the tailed beasts are one of anime's most OP weapons. The villages knew it too. Next, we have Buster Machine 3. Now this one is pretty wild, but it perfectly demonstrates why I love mecha anime's complete disregard for physics. They took Jupiter, the entire planet Jupiter, a gas giant that's 11 times wider than Earth, compressed it into a black hole, and turned it into a bomb. The blast radius? 10 light years. That's not destroying a planet, that's erasing entire star systems and everything in between. The science is completely bonkers, but that's what makes it so perfectly anime. They didn't just make a big explosion, they created a weapon that manipulates space-time itself. The compression process alone would have been visible from other galaxies. And the best part about this is that they treated it like a normal military operation. Yeah, we're just gonna delete Jupiter and turn it into a galaxy-killing weapon, okay? So yeah, this weapon is pretty beyond OP if you ask me. At number 6, we have the Sword of Rupture. And I can already hear the Excalibur fans having it out in the comments, but come on, this sword is way better. This sword does something we don't see very often. It cut apart the very concept of heaven and earth. Gilgamesh calls it the sword that cuts the world, and he's not being dramatic. This thing predates the concept of sword itself. The attack name says it all, Enuma Elish, literally means the creation of the world. It doesn't just destroy, it returns everything to the primordial state before creation. It's safe to say that it's not a weapon. A cosmic horror with a handle feels more fitting. Moving on to number 5, we have the Super Tengen Toppa from Gurren Lagann. This mecha is bigger than the observable universe. Let that sink in. It's not just big, it's bigger than the space that contains everything we know. There isn't enough paper in the world to do the math. The spiral energy powering it literally breaks the laws of physics by existing. When your robot is so big that galaxies are like atoms to it, you've officially stopped making sense and crossed into the what the heck territory. And that's just what this behemoth is. I wonder if it could give Imu from One Piece a run for his money, being that big and insanely dangerous and all. Or maybe the One Piece is hidden somewhere in the crazy maze that I know this mecha is made up of. Then again, I guess we'll never know. Up next, we have the Silence Glaive. Don't let the magical girl aesthetic fool you. This thing can end planets. Sailor Saturn's weapon doesn't just destroy. I mean, that's kindergarten stuff. No. This weapon brings the end of all things. In a series about friendship and love, they gave one girl a weapon that can delete existence itself. The irony? It's wielded by the most gentle, soft-spoken character in the series. It's like giving a nuclear launch button to Mr. Rogers. At number 3, it gets even more interesting. We don't even know what these weapons fully do, but they're supposedly capable of destroying the world. Pluton can sink islands, Poseidon can control sea kings, and Uranus? Well, we're still figuring that one out. But here's my theory, and tell me if you can agree. I think these weapons aren't just about destruction, they're about control. Control over land, sea, and sky. Imagine if Luffy ends up bringing together all 3 weapon controllers. The world government would have a complete meltdown. What if Vivi can actually control all 3? She's got the bloodline, the connections, and, let's be honest, the plot armor. But that's just what I think. I guess we'll have to wait and see what Oda's cooking for us. Up next, we have this insanely overpowered weapon called the F.L.E.I.J.A. There's very little to be said about this weapon, except for the fact that it's precisely the stuff of nightmares. This weapon casually deleted 35 million people in one shot, a casual Tuesday in the Code Geass universe. Of course it was going to make our list. What, you think Excalibur can hold a candle to this? And finally, at number 1, we have the power of friendship. This is probably the most OP weapon in anime. That's not often talked about enough. This thing has defeated universe-ending gods, reality-warping villains, and literal concepts of evil. No damage cap, works on everything, and somehow gets stronger the more impossible the situation becomes. Strategy? Who needs that when you've got the power of friendship? Nah, this ability is absolutely broken and takes the number 1 spot for anime's most OP weapons. The craziest part about all these weapons? They're not just tools. They're characters, plot devices, and philosophical statements all rolled into one. The Death Note asks what happens when you have the power of a god. The Tailed Beasts explore what it means to be both weapon and victim. F.L.E.I.J.A makes us question the nature of creation itself. That's what makes anime weapons so much more interesting than big sword hits hard. They make us think. They drive the plot. And honestly, they give us some of the most insane power scaling debates in all of fiction. What weapon did I miss? What's your pick for most overpowered anime weapon? And seriously, drop those ancient weapons theories because I'm convinced Oda has been planning something huge for over 20 years. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more anime content, and I'll see you in the next one.